Canada grants Obama political asylum as world turns upside down. A fascinating new Ministry of Foreign Affairs report circulating in Kremlin today, noting that on 19th October 1781, the largest military power in the world, British Empire, surrendered to the ragtag army of its North American colonists, who then went on to establish the United States. Says the most enduring legend of this surrender was the British Army band playing the ballad "The World Turned Upside Down," whose lyrics include the phrase, "If ponies rode men and grass ate the cows, just what tune was in the air when the world turned upside down?" An ancient ballad that echoed with full and terrible force into our modern-day world. A fortnight ago, when a likewise ragtag Yemeni army obliterated the bulk of the Western-armed Saudi Arabian army, killing and capturing over 2,500 Saudis soldiers. The stunning repercussions of which saw the Americans rushing troops to Saudi Arabia to save it from collapsing, the first of which they had to rapidly deploy from Syria, and that now has seen former Democrat Party President Barack Obama being granted political asylum in Canada in a secret agreement reached yesterday with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. A secret agreement Obama thanked Trudeau for by endorsing him in Canada's upcoming election is an asylum deal that will see Obama reunited with his younger sister Maya Sotoro NG, who is already a Canadian citizen, and was expected to occur as Obama is the first president in modern history not to have built a presidential library to memorialize his time in office, and who is facing likely criminal charges for directing a coup d'etat against President Donald Trump. According to this report, the most lucid and frightening document describing the current events now occurring in America has recently been released by Matt Taibbi, the award-winning international journalist for Rolling Stone magazine, whose grimly worded article, titled "We Are in Permanent Coup," warns that Americans might soon wish they just waited to vote their way out of the Trump era, and from his first-hand historical knowledge writes, "I've lived through a few coups. They're insane, random, and terrifying, like watching sports, except your political future depends on the score. The kickoff begins when a key official decides to buck the executive. From that moment, government becomes a high-speed head-counting exercise. Who's got the power plant, the airport, the police, in a capital? How many department chiefs are answering their phones? Who is writing tonight's newscast? We have long been spared this madness in America. Our head-counting ceremony was election day. We did it once every 4 years. That's all over in the Trump era." Farther worth contemplating for its strategic value and understanding, this report continues, is Taibbi's critical analysis of the permanent coup, the most noticeable and important points of which are: the Trump presidency is the first to reveal a full-blown schism between the intelligence community and the White House. Senior figures in the CIA, NSA, FBI, and other agencies made an open break from their would-be boss before Trump's inauguration, commencing a public war of leaks that has not stopped. The agency's new trick is inserting themselves into domestic politics using leaks and media pressure. The Intel chiefs meeting was just the first in a series of similar stories, many following the pattern in which a document was created, passed from department, and leaked. A shocking number of these voices were former intelligence officers who joined Clapper in becoming paying news contributors. Op-ed pages and news networks are packed now with ex-spooks editorializing about stories in which they had personal involvement. Michael Morrell, Michael Hayden, Asha Rangappa, and Andrew McCabe, among many others, including especially all four of the original Intel chiefs, Clapper, Rogers, Comey, and MSNBC headliner John Brennan. Russiagate birthed a whole brand of politics, a government in exile, which prosecuted its case against Trump via a constant stream of approved leaks, partisans in Congress, an increasingly unified and thematically consistent set of commercial news outlets. Imagine if a similar situation had taken place in January of 2009 involving President-elect Barack Obama. Picture a meeting between Obama and the heads of the CIA, NSA, and FBI, along with the DIA, in which the newly elected president is presented with a report compiled by, say, Judicial Watch, accusing him of links to Al-Qaeda. Imagine further that they tell Obama they're presenting him with this information to make him aware of a blackmail threat, and to reassure him they won't give news agencies a hook to publish the news. Now imagine if that news came out of Fox days later. Imagine further that within a year, one of the 4 officials become a paid Fox contributor. Democrats would lose their minds in this set of circumstances. The country mostly did not lose its mind, however, because the episode did not involve a traditionally presidential figure like Obama, nor was it understood to have been directed at the institution of the White House. In the abstract, Trump, at least insofar as we know, has not used Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act to monitor political rivals. He hasn't deployed human counterintelligence informants to follow the likes of Hunter Biden. He hasn't maneuvered the secure special counsel probes of Democrats. I don't believe most Americans have thought through what a successful campaign to oust Donald Trump would look like. Most casual news consumers can only think of it in terms of Mike Pence becoming president. The real problem would be a precedent of a de facto intelligence community veto over elections, using the lunatic, spook world brand of politics that has dominated the last 3 years of anti-Trump agitation. CIA FBI-backed impeachment could also be a self-fulfilling prophecy. If Donald Trump thinks he's going to be jailed upon leaving office, he'll sooner or later figure out that his only real move is to start acting like the dictator MSNBC and CNN keep insisting he is. Why give up the White House and wait to be arrested when he still has theoretical authority to send special forces troops rappelling through the windows of every last Russiagate, Ukrainegate leaker? That would be the endgame in the third world country, and it's where we're headed unless someone calls off this craziness. Welcome to the permanent power struggle. American people should start asking themselves whom their military forces are going to defend, their constitutionally elected president or the socialist forces trying to oust him in a coup, seeking to keep in place their socialist-inspired school-to-prison pipeline that has seen over 30,000 American children under the age of 10 being arrested and criminally charged since being implemented by the Obama-Clinton regime in 2013. This report notes President Trump's opposing of this demonic leftist madness to indoctrinate and enslave his nation's youth now sees him today being subject to the Soviet-style secret basement impeachment occurring in the US Capitol. Secret hearings where witnesses are being threatened and pressured to tell the Socialist Democrats what they want to hear, and when opposed by top Democrat Party actual war hero US Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, saw her being attacked for being a Russian puppet and smeared by the New York Times, who called her a traitor, all of which is occurring at the same time Democrat Party leader Nancy Pelosi is leading America towards an economic catastrophe the White House is warning will occur if she doesn't allow the US-Mexico-Canada trade deal to be voted on soon. And when told this fact yesterday, saw Pelosi erupting in unhinged leftist meltdown rage and storming out of the White House. With US House Speaker Pelosi and her Socialist Democrats now seeing their panic level rise because of their criminal investigation into their intelligence agency-led coup plot against President Trump, this report concludes their erupting into full unhinged meltdown rage is because after 1,000 days in office, Trump holds a 50% approval rating with likely voters. Despite the continued barrage of fake news and vicious media attacks since he won the 2016 election, and this latest impeachment scam, which stands opposed to Obama's approval rating at the same time in his presidency that was 45% despite having a fawning media his entire tenure as president. An astonishing popularity level for Trump, who's being aided by his nation's working-class citizens who are flocking to his Republican Party because these socialist Democrats are only supporting the rich, all of whom have seen the highest wage growth in their lives under the Trump economy, all of which explains why the prestigious election polling firm Moody Analytics, who failed only once in their presidential predictions since 1980, has now declared that Trump is on his way to an easy win in 2020, a win the world prays will be accomplished at the ballot box like it's supposed to be, but if not, will beyond an all doubt be secured like third world coups end in blood.